It's me, procrastinating a little bit again. Pretty sure I'm not taking Palkia to NAIC, but I do have a hot take to share with you, which is really kind of three opinions in a trench coat. The first one is, I've never been that big a fan of altered form Palkia. Something about its design has just never really worked for me. I think that the design approach to the Gen 4 legendaries in general didn't quite land right with me. After pretty simple forces of nature like Kyogre and Groudon, which I like a lot in the previous generation, these weird dragons didn't quite land right. But also, to be perfectly honest with you, I've never quite gotten over Palkia's weird upright stance, but I've also never quite gotten over how phallic its head is. I think the games might have just been arriving at the wrong time there. I was a young teen when Diamond and Pearl came out, and it might have been a bit much to ask me to see past that. Second opinion in the trench coat, Origin Form Palkia is a huge improvement on Altered Palkia. I like this design a lot, and that's the third opinion in the trench coat. I like this design a lot. I think this is legitimately very good. I know, it doesn't have arms, and it looks like it should have arms, but surely that's part of the point of the design, right? I mean, there are a couple ways we can go with that. Either it's this great cosmic being, this biblically accurate angel of Pokemon, as people have said, and so it doesn't need arms to rend things. Or, another way to look at it is that there's something lacking about it. That it's trying to imitate Arceus, but it's not quite at that level. It's not quite the god of all Pokemon, as its Pokedex entry in Legends Arceus suggests. Or somewhere, I think Legends Arceus. It's trying, but it just can't ever get all the way there. Somehow lacking, but also this mysterious cosmic being. I think they pulled this off really well in this design. I think this is a very cool looking legendary, and it easily makes up for me being disappointed by Altered Palkia for all these years. So I went looking on VGC pastes for a Palkia team. I thought about building one myself, but I was already kind of thinking about Palkia, Tornadus, Metagross. Tornadus, of course, able to support Palkia with Rain Dance and Tailwind, and then Metagross able to cover some of its weaknesses. And I found this team on VGC pastes, and I thought instead of trying to make my own, I might as well just go for it. I don't know how old this paste is. I don't know what it's going to look like on the current ladder. But of course, it also has a Doxbun with a Scarf Chi-Yu to support it. Which I love. I'm a big Doxbun fan. I have taken Doxbun to a tournament. I'm not exactly sure yet what it does on this team, but hopefully we'll get a chance to set it up. So we got the Palkia with what I imagine is a pretty standard set. Terra Steel, Scarf Chi-Yu, Doxbun with the Terra Bug, which is interesting. Again, I don't really know what the creator of this team was cooking, but maybe we'll find out through trial and error. Like I said, I like the Terra Water Assault Vest Metagross to cover some of Palkia's weaknesses, like fairy types, most notably, perhaps. Then we got a Clear Amulet Rillaboom, Terra Fire, and of course your basic Covert Cloak Terra Steel Thunderous. And I don't really remember if there were any other details on this team, but I got it from VGC Pastes. You can find it if you go looking for it, if you really want to for some reason. But the point of this is, I want to use Origin Palkia at some point. I think I'd be disappointed in myself if I never gave it a try. So let's go ahead and do that right now. On the Reg G ladder, playing as usual until we lose 3 games. So we get a Groudon double grass team. I'll go ahead and accept open team sheets. Up to my opponents whether they want to do likewise. Okay. 2 Paradox Pokemon you'd expect pretty much, and then a Farigiraf. So I'll just lead Palkia Tornadus. Maybe it's a little too simple, but hey, this team is new to me. Doxbun is funny, actually, to potentially switch in on an Ivy Cudgel from the Ogerpon, although they're not going to click that into Palkia unless I terrestrialize it. Metagross looks pretty bad here. Rillaboom looks not great here. Let's just bring Chi-Yu. And maybe that makes us weak to the Raging Bolt, but I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. They lead Rillaboom, Fluttermane. That is actually kind of a problem. I guess I will terrestrialize the Palkia, and then I'll be glad that I have Doxbun to switch in on fire attacks. Although the Groudon's Precipice Blades... well... what can I say? Actually, I mean, I'll protect turn 1, because... otherwise, I get faked out. They can't fake out the Tornadus, so let's just set Tailwind. Might as well. It's Taunt Fluttermane. Okay, that's actually pretty bad. I can't get the rain that I really want here, but I'm just gonna terrestrialize and click Hydro Pump into the Fluttermane, and I'll switch to Chi-Yu. That'll boost the hydro pump, of course, and I can try to get some damage off on anything else, as it's actually Sash Flutter Mane, but we take the Moonblast after Terra. Still does a fair bit of damage. Perhaps my own Beads of Ruin kind of backfiring on me here, and they get the Trick Room up. But here, I'm gonna Spatial Rend into the Giraffe slot, and I'm gonna Heat Wave if they let me have the Flutter Mane here. Throat Spray, Giraffe, and they don't let me have the Flutter Mane. Don't KO the Farigiraf either. So this is a very bad start to the video, and not a great showing for Palkia so far. I'm gonna go Dock Spawn, protect Palkia, and yawn into the Giraffe. Try to get it with its special attack boost out of here. As the Flutter Mane taunts the Dock Spawn, presumably being slower thanks to my Tailwind, so that's not super well played by me. Let's just try to get rid of this Flutter Mane, and I guess I'll play rough the Giraffe, which does not KO. Maybe I chose my targets badly that turn. Here's the Raging Bolt, and I'll protect Palkia, but I'm in a pretty bad spot here. Try to go for a play rough into the Bolt. Of course, they haven't Terra'd yet, and they probably will go Terra Fairy or something to try to get around Spatial Rend. Well, I don't know about probably, but they can make that play. At least this, yeah, okay, they do. It looks, at least this Palkia will look cool while it's losing this game. Something that a Palkia can't take for granted necessarily. Alright, the taunt is over on Dock Spawn, so that at least is nice. But I am just gonna go for, I guess, a Hydro Pump into the Bolt and a Body Press into the Giraffe. We miss Hydro Pump. We do get rid of the Giraffe. They're not getting Trick Room back up right now, and I'm only noticing now that they didn't bring the Groudon. So that's something, I guess. Let's try to yawn the Bolt. They can't switch now, of course, and it would be good to put that to sleep. Grassy Glide does a lot to my Dock Spawn. Air Bug would actually have been useful there, but anyway, Dock Spawn is gone. And we're left with just Tornadus and Palkia. And Palkia is just going to go down here, and then I'll lose. I guess I'll have to try for the double protect and get the mother of all crits on that Rillaboom with Bleak Windstorm, but of course that's not happening. And of course the Bolt is still awake, so it will finish Tornadus off here. Alright, next game. I'm sure I didn't play this right. It's a weird team. And like I said, I don't know how early in the format it was made for, as here we have it looks like a variation on Rajan Ball's Miraidon. We are getting open team sheets here. Specs Miraidon, Electric Seed Farigiraf, Whimsicott, Assault Vest, Iron Hands, it notably has Ice Punch, Scarf Chiyu, and pretty basic Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. I don't know how I beat Miraidon with this team. I guess I'll lead Palkia, Tornadus, I'll bring Rillaboom in the back, and I don't hate Metagross, except into the Chiyu. I'll bring that. Maybe Palkia can cover the Chiyu. Yeah, this is not a great start to things for me. I kind of want to Terra Steel the Palkia in case they go for a Draco Meteor. I think I will do that. And the Miraidon can pivot with Earth, or with Volt Switch, so I don't have an Earth Power there. I don't have anything that resists Earth Power that can come in since Whimsicott's already in the field. But I'm actually going to target a Spatial Rend into that slot. And I'll switch to Rillaboom to reset the terrain. Terra Electric, probably a Volt Switch. But if it's Draco Meteor, that's not so bad for me, but it's not. Volt Switch does a lot to my Palkia. And Spatial Rend does a lot to the Farigiraf, though, so that's nice. I'm just going to protect Palkia. And I'm just going to make sure it has armor tail. It does. Once in a while, they don't. I'm just going to try to wood hammer into the giraffe. Which was foolish of me. I should have pivoted Rillaboom out as they get their terrain now. I didn't really think that one through. And with the Electric Seed, the Farigiraf takes the wood hammer. This is a bad position for me. I'm going to switch. I'm going to sack Metagross. And try to get a wood hammer into the Miraidon. As they just discharge, I should get everything off the field with that. Fair enough. And now I just lose to another discharge. So, yeah, that was a pretty safe play for my opponent. I guess I will... I mean, I guess I'll Tailwind Protect. And then try to... But, okay, but I lose to the Chi-Yu anyway. I mean, I'll still make that play. I'll Tailwind to Protect. They can get their Tailwind back up now with the Whimsicott. Tornadus living is good. I feel like... Do I Rain Dance here or do I Bleak Wind Storm? I mean, I lose to Chi-Yu is what I do, but I'm going to Bleak Wind Storm. Gotta get some damage on these Pokemon. And I'll target an Earth Power into the Chi-Yu. But, no, just finish this off. Okay. Let's see if we can get a win before we end this. Okay, Gastrodon, Heatran, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, Zacian, and Tornadus. The Gastrodon is actually kind of a problem, huh? Although Earth Power is decent to target into the Heatran and the Zacian. Let's do Palkia, of course. Let's lead... Let's lead Palkia and Metagross. I think that duo might be what we're missing here. And I'll bring Chi-Yu and Tornadus in the back and hope that I have enough answers to the Gastrodon. Okay, I'm going to protect Palkia this turn, and I'm going to target a Meteor Mash into the Zacian. I don't really know what... I'm kind of curious about what Explosion does on this Metagross. I haven't been exploring this Metagross properly in this video. Well, it's not very useful here, and apparently the Meteor Mash isn't either. I don't want to throw away my Chi-Yu right now, so I'm going to swap to Tornadus. And I'll try again to hit that Zacian. Not much else I can do here. Okay, the Bleak Wind miss is potentially very good news. Meteor Mash does less than half. That's not good news. Really don't like that. I'm just gonna keep trying to keep Pokemon alive in this slot and then attack the Zacian with Metagross. It's a terrible game plan, but I don't know what else I've got here. I guess if I let Tornadus go down, I can get the Chi-Yu in safely. Alright, I'll Tailwind and I'll Meteor Mash. Into a Rillaboom, as it turns out. But I don't get to Tailwind because they have Taunt on their Tornadus. Here I'm going to hard... No, I'm not. I'm going to Bleak Wind Storm. And I've missed Meteor Mash twice now, and I'm kind of over it. So let's... Unfortunately, I can't fake. Of course, I can't protect Metagross because I have an Assault Vest set, but let's just Psychic Fangs into the Tornadus. Go down to their Bleak Wind Storm. And the Stomping Tantrum does a lot to my Metagross. That's pretty unfortunate for me. As here, I'll go Chi-Yu. Even though the Rillaboom has gone Terra Fire now, I'll target a Dark Pulse into it, and I'll hope that Bullet Punch can finish the Tornadus. Up to Heatran. Maybe hoping for a Flash Fire boost, but of course I didn't use a Fire attack. So that Dark Pulse actually does a lot of damage. They do have a fresh Tailwind, though, so Very real problem for me right now. And I didn't get rid of the Rillaboom, which means it's still not very safe to Terra Water the Metagross. I can stall out most of the Tailwind, I think, by swapping to Palkia. They probably won't target a Play Rough into that slot, and then I can protect on the next turn. Try to win with Metagross, but that's a tall order, obviously. I'll just target a Dark Pulse into the Heatran. I don't see anything better to do with that slot. Let's actually protect Zacian here, so I get Palkia in pretty safely, I think. Especially if both of my Pokemon are going to dodge Heat Wave. I'll target another Dark Pulse into the Heatran, and I'll protect Palkia. And actually, I still have Terra Steel, so if I get rid of the Heatran here, if they actually let me do that, then I can Terra Steel Palkia, and I might even be able to pull this one back. For now, we'll just protect. Get rid of one more turn of Tailwind and leave them with only one remaining. If they protect the Heatran, they gonna get rid of my Chi-Yu? Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate. Don't like that very much. And we know now that the Zacian has Sacred Sword. Also not great for me. I still have the Tailwind up, so I think I can't. Obviously, I can't Terra both of my Pokemon. And if I Terra Water Metagross, I just lose to Rillaboom, letting Palkia go down. So I'm gonna hope that I dodge a Heat Wave or something. I'll target a Meteor Mash into Zacian, and I will Terra Steel, Earth Power the Heatran, and lose the game. As this time, Heat Wave hits both targets, and burns Metagross. Okay, and that's why we lose here. Alright, so I said I'd play until 3 losses, and that was 3 losses, but you know what? I want to see if I can win one game with Palkia. Let's see how long that takes, just to get one win. Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Amoonguss, Tornadus, Fluttermane, Raging Bolt. This might not be the one. It's your basic Terra... Oh. It's Terrafire Koraidon. It doesn't have a Dragon attack. It has Flame Charge instead. Specs Chi-Yu, Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, Covert Cloak Tornadus, notably with Icy Wind. Sash Fluttermane, and it does have Taunt, and it doesn't have Shadow Ball. And then Assault Vest, Raging Bolt. I'll lead Palkia Tornadus. I'll bring Darkspun for sure. Darkspun is actually really good into the Koraidon. And I'll bring my Scarf Chi-Yu. Let's see what happens here. Is this the one that we finally win with Palkia? Let's see. Koraidon is naturally faster than Palkia, isn't it? So, but I have a pretty free swap to Darkspun here because it's actually super strong into this Koraidon. And I'm actually just going to swap to Chi-Yu as well. Maybe they'll let me set Darkspun up, and I can preserve Tornadus for my own Tailwind offset from theirs. They just protect Koraidon. Interesting. They go for Icy Wind. Icy Wind isn't great. It does slow down my Scarf Chi-Yu, obviously, but here I'm just going to target... I'm just going to target a Play Rough into the Koraidon. They can Terra around it, obviously, but I'm also going to go for Lava Plume to set up with Well-Baked Body. And I can even fish for a burn, as actually I can't do any of those things because Chi-Yu is slowed by the Icy Wind, so they do get rid of it there. Oh, that did a lot of damage to the Koraidon, though. Look at Darkspun go. And here... They don't have a fighting attack on their... they don't have a dragon attack on their Koraidon, so I'm willing to give Palkia a try. I'll target another Play Rough into the Koraidon, and I'll target a Spatial Rend into the Tornadus. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe they get rid of Darkspun before it can attack here. I'll target a Play Rough... I'll target Play Rough into Tornadus and Spatial Rend into Koraidon. There we go. I do want to chip the Tornadus, obviously, as actually they just swap to Amoonguss. It takes a lot of damage from Spatial Rend. And they go for Bleakwind Storm, and they miss Palkia, which means they don't have any speed control on Palkia so far. Unfortunately, the Tornadus, of course, takes that Play Rough. Why wouldn't it? So I'm going to go for a Yawn into Amoonguss. It's an Amoonguss. It's an Amoonguss. I'm gonna go for Yawn into... I'm gonna go for another Play Rough into Tornadus, and I'm gonna go for Spatial Rend into Amoonguss. As they swap to Fluttermane. Okay, fair enough. This time they hit the Bleak Wind on Palkia. They don't get the speed drop. I get my Tornadus in here. And I can Rain Dance and Protect. Hopefully go for Tailwind next turn. They don't have Taunt on their Tornadus, unlike that other opponent. Just need my Tornadus to survive this turn. And it does. And now... Tailwind and hope that Hydro Pump KOs the Fluttermane, as it clearly does not. I mean, the Fluttermane goes first anyway. Okay, I guess I needed to Terra Steel, but I think I just lose to the Koraidon if I do that, don't I? So that's Open 4 now. Tornadus, White Kyurem, Rillaboom, some kind of Urshifu. Oh, well, we can find out. The Tornadus has Snowscape, where a lot of them have Rain Dance. That's not surprising. It specs White Kyurem with Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Blizzard, and Freeze Dry, Assault Vest, Rillaboom, Focus Sash, Single Strike, Urshifu, Wellspring Mask, Ogerpon with the Follow Me set, and Throat Spray for Igarath with Imprison, Trick Room, Hyper Voice, and Dazzling Gleam. I'm gonna choose to not learn my lesson and lead Palkia with, I think, Metagross this time. That duo's pretty strong into their team. I'll bring Tornadus, and you know what? I'll bring Darkspun to cover the Urshifu. I swear Darkspun has been decent in past formats. This has not been a great showing for it so far. I accidentally zoomed in there, I think, but if I haven't fixed it, I don't know how at this point. As here, I guess I'll just Protect and Meteor Mash into the Rillaboom. Maybe I get an attack boost to make up for all those Meteor misses earlier. They just get their Fake Out and Tailwind. But I still feel like I'm in a reasonably safe position here. I mean, the Rillaboom could do a lot to Palkia for sure, but I'm just going to Spatial Rend and throw off another Meteor Mash into that slot. The other thing about Meteor Mash is it makes it dangerous for them to try to switch White Kyurem in. As we do get rid of the Rillaboom at the cost of most of our Palkia. Maybe not an ideal trade there. Here's the White Kyurem. It doesn't have a fire attack. It does have Earth Power. I'm just going to Spatial Rend to keep it honest. And with the Rillaboom gone, I feel pretty good about Terra Water, Meteor Mash. Double target the Kyurem as it goes Terra Ice. I don't think it'll get rid of both of my Pokemon, although... Okay, yeah, the Earth Power still does a lot and gets the drop, but we knock it down to 1% there. And now we can Bullet Punch it. However, what Pokemon do I win the game with? Well, I'm going to bring in my own Tornadus first. And I'm going to Bleakwind Storm and Bullet Punch the Kyurem slot. It switches out, but that means we break Urshifu's Focus Sash, so that's not nothing. Lose our Metagross, though, and that means we could probably lose to the Kyurem now, but okay, we KO Urshifu. We're still in this, but just barely. As here, I'll go for... I'll actually go for a Rain Dance to take away their ice or their snow buffs, and I'll go for a Body Press into the Kyurem. But that's definitely a loss because the game ended. Yeah, okay. Blizzard still hits both targets. 0-5. On to the next one. Rillaboom, Kyogre, Regidrago, Thundurus, Grimmsnarl, and an Urshifu. Palkia. Horn. Bring my Rillaboom. And... guess I'll bring Metagross. Don't really know who else. This is probably a really early format paste that I'm using here. I don't know. But also, hate to say it, Palkia might be bad. Maybe, maybe. Don't know what set they have on the Grimmsnarl. They haven't accepted open team sheets. So I'm just going to Terra Steel, Spatial Rend into the Drago and click Tailwind. As it's Terra Steel as well. Light Screen from the Grimmsnarl, not really surprising. But the Dragon Energy wipes out my Tornadus. Not my Palkia, of course. Go Metagross here. Metagross Palkia is at least pretty safe right now, immediately at this moment. I'll throw off a Hyper Voice, or a Hydro Pump. I don't know why I said Hyper Voice. A Hydro Pump into the Drago, maybe catch something on the switch, and I'll Meteor Mash the Grimmsnarl. This goes for Parting Shot into Palkia, not great for me. But that means the Regidrago is not switching. Could have targeted it with Earth Power. Probably still wouldn't have KO'd, judging by that damage. On the other hand, it might be Choice Locked into Dragon Energy if it's still using that now. Rillaboom recovery isn't great to see. Let's try to get the Rillaboom out of here. Protect Palkia from a Fake Out. Of course they can Fake Out Metagross, and I can't protect against that. And they do. Here, I'll swap to my Rillaboom. Reset the drops on Palkia, and I'll once again fish for a Meteor Mash into the Grimmsnarl. Try to get rid of that. They get a Reflect. Meteor Mash still does a lot of damage. Now... they're probably going to switch, but I'm willing to chance it. I'll Fake Out the Rillaboom and Bullet Punch into the Grimmsnarl slot. Okay, good. I didn't know about the Clear Body. I tried to Parting Shot out, but it didn't work. Take what we can get at this point, huh? And I think what I can get is just like a Wood Hammer into that Regidrago. And go for another Meteor Mash into the Rillaboom. The U-turn out. Who's coming in? Kyogre, of course. I can get rid of my Rillaboom here, and that would be strong play for them. They do. As I miss Meteor Mash. Okay, Palkia back in. And of course I've turned off its water resistance. Just double target the Kyogre with my best attacks into it. Lose my Palkia. Can Metagross pull this back by itself? Honestly, I think it's not impossible, but it's pretty close to impossible because it's going to take a Fake Out here. Yeah, okay. 0-6 is that? Let's keep going. Let's see how far this goes. Hisuian Braviary. What does that even do? With Talonflame, Whimsicott, Groudon, Chi-Yu, Espathra. I can't think of the last time I faced a Hisuian Braviary on the ladder. Well, my Chi-Yu looks strong here with Tornadus. Might as well try that. Bring Darkspun. It's not bad into Groudon and Talonflame. And you know what? I'm not saying Palkia bad, but I'm actually going to leave Palkia on the bench this game. I'm going to bring Metagross in the last slot. Okay. Groudon, Espathra, lead. I kind of want to swap to Darkspun and go for Lava Plume. It sure would be nice to burn this Groudon. Of course, it could Terra Fire. But I'm going to try it. What have I got to lose at this point? Swap into Darkspun and Lava Plume. Ideally, we burn the Groudon, we get big damage on the Espathra, and of course we start to set up Well-Baked Body, although that's not useful into the Espathra. It is useful into the Groudon, at least. Come on, Pop-Tart. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What are you going to do? Okay, we get off the lava plume. Knocks the Spothra down to its sash. Burns that. No, but it does burn the Groudon. Very good. And the Spothra goes for Calm Mind. Does it have speed boost? It does. Okay, not surprising. But another lava plume seems pretty safe here, and I'll just yawn into the Espathra slot in case they make some baton pass play or something. But look at that, we got Duckspun set up. Here comes their Chi-Yu. I don't think that's going to want to take a lava plume. Okay, well, that was a crit. It still did a little less than half, but we get the yawn into their Chi-Yu. Very good. And Chi-Yu's not much of a threat into Duckspun. Maybe it can threaten my Chi-Yu. Even then, I don't really see the vision. I'm just going to click another lava plume. And I'll protect Duck. Oh. Wait, no, I won't protect Duckspun. I want to set it up. I'll body press into their Chi-Yu. If they could have Terra Ghost, but they probably don't want to click it in this situation. They want to swap it out anyway because it's sleepy. Terra Fire, Hisuian Braviary. I do not know what they're cooking, but that takes the lava plume pretty well. But they go single target expanding force into Chi-Yu and then lose their Braviary Darkspawn and they forfeit. Alright, what's that? 1 and 7? We got almost all the way to the very bottom of the ladder. This might be cut off, but my rating dropped as low as 1009 in this video. But we got a win in the end. Final thoughts, don't use Palkia. If you had any thoughts about bringing Palkia to a tournament, I can't not honestly recommend it, though I'm sure there are more up-to-date teams than this one. That still was a nightmare to try to pilot this video. Don't use Palkia, but hey, Darkspawn is a good boy, so that might be worth exploring some more. Anyway, see you next time. Don't use Palkia.